Thanks everybody for coming out. I'm going to start with a piece that was written as a kind of invocation. And since things have taken a bit of a dark cultural turn as of late, and because we're on the horizon of a new year, I figured, fuck it. Let's invoke. Let's invoke. This is my project 2025.
Okay, all right.
This is what all the dark cannot extinguish. Make me a channel of peace, a throughway for the lost and old, the alone and refugee. Guide me as visitor across the desert, just to extend an embrace. Where there are slats in jail windows, whisper me through with a message. Apprentice me as a breaker, not a maker of chains. Here, the sick, the dead, the strong, the alive are among us. Give me what it takes to dejewel, lay robes at the feet of power, to laugh and walk away. Allow me to be passage for the newest arrivers, eyes to see sisters, brothers, in the row house, the convent, the tent. Grant me literacy to read this crate as fragile, understanding it's more than machine parts that move the brightly unsighted. Project me as more than a fictional image of love, as a sculptor of marble no longer inscribing for wars. Brought in this scope to recognize the many configurations of family. Spread me as seed in the midst of thorn and rock. Allow me sense to leave the dung of the devil as fertilizer for the most beatified blossoms among us. Yes. Make me a channel for living waters, from LA to Sao Paulo, eroding doomed idols of greed. Give me the smarts to be an opener, not a closer of schools. Supply me with tools to make a Damascus road. Undeafen me to hear, I can't breathe, from Brooklyn to Bangladesh. Teach me to silver a mirror in which I can see the other as me. Sister, brother, animal, tree, may we be reunited as kindred. Where there is song, string me as instrument to accompany the hymn, the nasheed, the amida. Where there is disappearance, speak through me as witness. It can be dark, but please, one last prayer. Make me in the image of love. Your work is my work, is our work together. Amen. Here. It can be dark, but who said you can't feel good in the dark? You know you can feel good in the dark. You can, you. You can feel good about I-95 when you take a walk underneath. Feel good about rocking black lip liner. Your shirtless muscle pose is something you can flex and feel good about. You can feel good about life in this ditch because you know that your future starts here. You can. You can feel. Feel good about the love of your life in a snapshot left on a box spring. A gun and a bun in the oven is something you can feel good about. You can feel good about beating the giants. You can feel good about the skin you're in, even if it's been broken. You can feel good about the firefighter and the wonder of fireworks at once. Show off your titty tattoos and feel good. I feel it. Feel good about falling in love without government sanction again. Flip the bird to the law and feel good. You can feel good about your wave cap when it's tied just right. Can you feel how good this feels, this blinking sign of redemption? You can feel good about smoking in bed and not waking up in a fire. You can. You can feel good about dollar magic. Feel good about letting your wang hang out.
Oh!
Silly string from an overhead wire is something.
Feel it.
You can feel good about Froggy Car. Feel good about making love in Centralia. Rome can make you. The Sherman Petrofest makes you feel good and hungry. You can feel good about gangster ink on your face. You can feel that smooth bicentennial round ball. Go ahead and say it. It's so, so good. Julius Irving. I told you now, didn't I? You can feel good about yours. It's the first one of its kind in the world. Feel good about being young, crazy, rich, flashy. Feel good about the fleur-de-lis. You can feel good about dollar, 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 dollar. Just don't be a dick about it.
That's right.
Couples touching tongues can make you feel ooh la la. He wrote dirty jokes in the store of the stars just so you could feel good. Feel him. You can feel good about dignity under the L. You can feel good about half of everything and the half that seems to be missing. Just feel for it. You can feel good about the most that we feared has turned out to be empty and barren. Drinking a Bud can with one pinky up will make you feel pretty classy. You can feel good like feeling like any day you might be a star. Feel good about making out with a stranger on a day that you come out and drag. Some days you feel for the dead, R.I.P. You can feel good about showing your exit wounds because of what you've held on to. Let's feel good and meet me under the overpass, because now is the time to be close. I'm starting to fully get the December feels. This is a winter one. Summertime crush becomes wintertime bae, pulling off tank top, then jacket, then coat. Dark is the reason for scrolling spring skin in other time zones and ogling migrated loons. After takeoff or before landing, flight's not so complicated, but I want to stay dramatically present. Living through the short days takes more than a breath at a time. It takes costumes, tigers, otters, and wolves as reminders that trees seem dead for now, but aren't. We are not indoor pets. We are not indoor pets, but we are a gang of creatures. So much transit, so little purpose, this body city myth is busy tasking for questionable reasons. Me and the pets are coping with indecision. To drop the toy or not, to cry like a baby or play fetch or play dead. Weak in the face of the abstracts of love, the kissing noise becomes a lure. It comes from a shirtless boy with an eye patch called Paul that goes by the name Severe. My shirt reads service animal in a developing or given up font. One if by ass, two if by song, symbols of a set are gathered, weaponized, and treated like the pit bulls of children. Where now? A suicide bomber has destination, but is clearly out of ideas. You with the knife, cook for a date. You with a van, pick up a hitchhiker. Feel better. If the people need body count, there's DJ Hurrah moving basement dwellers along with principals from a German ballet. Sure, people smile while doing vile, vile shit, but they can only destroy if the offended come off as broken. Yeah. Me and a wrestler share a hand mirror, tracing frown lines and listening for a crowd out there. Static noise comes from two cupped hands. Upon reflection is a dream of the coming body slam, wearing next to nothing for an audience with all the rage of belief. Yes, we are many, yes, they are few, but I've been hit on the head many times. I hit back when I'm sick and tired of remembering the times I ran for my life. Right now, all is well, sunk into the bench of domestic imaginary, reading Ulysses out loud on what could be the last day of the world. This could blow at any time. So what? It'll be built again on a movie set if all this goes away? Oh wait, the process requires more than just actors. There are invisible creators that are always being told to leave. Today, I do not want to die, so I started calling a migrant species my family. Me and the siblings are distracted by cathedrals doming the skyline, a stone's throw away. Some days I stare with a slingshot. Right now, it's just the rocks in my reach. So much schism and not enough fun come. It's a no-brainer that stones will smart, but the breeder money is on replicating a brutal me versus window model. Scenes of children dressed in white run across fields to sell health care. I can have my dream and drive it too, but recall kicks in once I confess that I really don't care about cars. Alone again, there is a need to move at least as fast as traffic. Before this goes too far, it's time to entertain where I'd like to be taken. Somewhere lovers wrap in blankets as they sit and face the sea, or lie in a river with friends where petals of flowers pass through. Staycating to talk to myself for too long has crowbarred me into this ramble. All I've got so far is momentum and an unpaid fact-checker job. I crush hard on diastemas looking for brilliance somewhere in a sliver of dark. There's joy to be found when the body fails its indenture and moves by feelings that refuse to take dictation. Me and strangers find friends with benefits because night, then hop away in different directions. Bunny shit is supposed to be cute because of where it comes from, but waste is waste. So much time gone by. Pay, stand, wait behind the yellow line to remember magical strays and desires to burrow deeper. Nice for a moment, but voice of God pops through an intercom. Oh no, another lesson. Enjoy! There'll be no rain in hell. Enjoy! No subway smells in hell. Enjoy! No bittersweet in hell. Flight instinct kicks in to rise up into a space that is all clouds and fur. Comely and fierce, a raccoon, a unicorn, a girl called Richie that goes by the name Shazam. Crap or crisis or whatever gets tracked, find me amidst a gang of creatures. Song and tale. Gathered, surrendered, arriving.
Yeah.
It's one of the great things about being a poet is that you have this thing that you connect with people who, if you didn't have this thing, you probably would have never had a connection at all. And some of those people are from the other side of the world, like the Russian poet Dimitri Ginko, who was an innovator in post-Soviet poetry that we met while he was visiting the University of Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
And there are two things to know about Dimitri Ginko. That he spoke emphatically, and he drank emphatically. So there was a night or two at Dirty Frank's when we were bending elbows and cracking jokes back and forth. And yeah, the hilarious part was, because of the language barrier, we never completely got each other's sense of humor. But somehow, in an absurd way, it made it funnier. But yeah, jokes aren't always funny. And when Putin invaded Ukraine, Dimitri was very vocal about his opposition to the war, and he lost his job, and he was blacklisted, so he couldn't work in Russia anymore. So about a year ago, Dimitri took his own life in St. Petersburg.
Jesus.
So this elegy is for him. Dead of Winter, for Dimitri Ginko. The promised cow failed us, so it's vodka now. Light shot out. Tonight becomes even more still. This thing here was meant to be more than a token of its maker. But what is this exactly, this line between salve and salvo? A stand-up tragic friend cracks jokes through a thirst-stricken world where dreams are milk dry, utters sputter under the pressure. Deep in the cups between dread and absurd adventure, that thing there becomes clear. It is a key to a yonder tavern to be turned once the boss is gone. And speaking of poets who are no longer with us, Refaat Alareer was killed about a year ago in an IDF airstrike in Gaza. But before he left us, he gave us this gift in the form of a poem, which has become a force for hope and resistance all around the world. If I must die. If I must die, you must live to tell my story, to sell my things, to buy a piece of cloth and some string, make it white with a long tail, so that a child somewhere in Gaza, while looking heaven in the eye, awaiting his dad, who left in a blaze and bid no one farewell, not even to his flesh, not even to himself, sees the kite, my kite you made, flying up above, and thinks for a moment an angel is there, bringing back love. If I must die, let it bring hope. Let it be a tale. And on a cheerier note, let's sing an elegy for the end of the year, or the end of the world. While my reputation precedes me, it's still in dispute who is chasing who. That said, two things are for certain. Earth Day of Remembrance is coming soon, and my tree fell in the forest. I know you heard, since here I am, repurposed. The New Year's edition has it all. The rumors, the gummies, the fucking, the feels, the blackouts, the pinwheel across the skin, charting our own terrain. December's infamous for sabotage weather, but your dazzle in the otherwise dark's a reminder, two more things are sure. Daylight will get longer soon, and I keep getting a little better whenever we're together, like the canceled singer said. Yeah, I'm just playing. The world's not over. There'll be a tomorrow somehow.
That was lovely.
We had a mutual crush on Riot Dog, But now he's dead, poisoned by police.
Oh, shit.
Our movements became all about breath when the refinery blew up. So maybe today is a day to rest on the sofa until our heart has had enough.
Fucking hell.
Who will be able to live here
Fucking hell.
if all of this is over? If money is a tale we tell, I stall with a stutter to somehow postpone the end. I've been told this isn't real, that I have fetish for memory.
Oh, lovely sentence.
For loving the armpit, I'm assailed as some kind of olfactory perv. Fair enough.
That's a lovely sentence.
The tongue is chafe. Visions keep getting clouded.
That's a lovely sentence.
City of holes, city of boxes, city of maw, we slowly get digested. One sundown sex worker smashed into Hello World to seize designer handbags.
Oh, shit.
Serves the host
There we
planet
go.
right for leaving them there,
Fucking
empty
hell.
and on display. Are we fitter or sicker as time goes on? Our lot filled with flowers and weeds. We bitch, but soon they'll just be seen on the internet once construction's done. Cry in the sun, piss at the moon, sulk under overcast skies, get it out. Because trapping spit in a handkerchief makes you homesick for what's already been swallowed.
Fucking hell.
In lieu of staying out of the rain, we're left with revenge. So I didn't much care when the realtor got stabbed. So many pockets of hell yet to be developed.
You got him.
That said, God and the devil are boring. We don't have to know the world to know what it's not. What we call us doesn't need to be explained when we chew through or arch our backs when grabbed just right by the scruff.
Fucking hell.
There's nothing wrong with wanting more time for long shot bets to some way maybe transcend this.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Wow. Holy shit.
Remember the t-shirts?
No.
I miss the old Philly. Defender Valparaiso. Where you at? Two seen in person, one only seen in a dream. Born here, die here, the bank doesn't care, as long as we're gone in 5 years.
That's right.
A friend with 8 fingers tells a joke about loss, and meanwhile, yo, there goes a radical poetry reading in another gentrified school. Back in line, it's time to talk to the window. The teller says goodbye by saying be safe, without an idea of what that might look like. I demand to speak to whomever told them to say that. Sitting in a comfortable chair, I wait for a boss and plan on what I'm going to say. It goes something like, I never left home when I went to other cities. Far from birth, I rode a bicycle on what looked like escape of the moon. Past debris piles and graveyards of brass and woodwind instruments, my lungs failed. All I could do was transcribe ward stories and document systems on what still was common ground. Then we were in a valley by the sea, lousy with strays or writers. We stared out the window of a Nobel laureate where he'd watched ships come and go. After that, bus fare went up, so carabineros put out the eyes of children. Punished are those who dare to peek into tomorrow's museum of memory.
Lovely.
I'll say I'm back, and despite my demeanor, I do have a care in the world. This is where I eat and sleep with weirdos, and you can't say resist without rest. And I know, it's not really true, but it's close. And I get that Takeover does not respect genre, but this is the way I talk. I want to sit a while. I demand to stay.
That one.
On second thought, why waste my breath?
Fucking right.
I just want the service fee back.
Excellent.
Yeah, we were dogs and we ran together. But then came the noise ordinances whenever we did what dogs do. Dust bathing won't get the parasites off, so we need to decide whether yesterday's fiction, today is true crime as fuck.
Yeah.
Our phones know about us and the shit we talk, so let's cut the flowery language.
This one is excellent.
Do we want to be naked if the sheriffs come? Who will feel more vulnerable? They have battering rams. We know where weapons are hidden. For all the gifts of grim clairvoyance, we storyboarded defiance of literal endings. Nothing's over until the until is over.
Yeah, fucker.
What is it until?
I write obituaries for strangers so I can get to know them. New love is nice and keeps me from thinking about the former lives of friends. Some of them died while others fed the ducks and got
That's a
lost.
lovely sentiment.
Books again are my BFFs. I'm on my third or fourth death, I'm not sure. Sounds low, I know, but once I was caught in a basement bed with an acrobat. Fingers traced wear marks from whiskered jeans while we laughed about landing safely. Then in a crumpled sheet, they and I backburned in the shapes of recollection. Time began again. The floor became decider once we surrendered interest in cocktails on the roof. For so long, you and I thought we were outside, but we were really just between buildings.
Lovely.
Lessors say everything changes, which might be true, but we know a few things too. Like this rain is torrential, protest selfies can't save us, and animals live on in our cells. All is well for now, and right now, the roof doesn't leak. I can still be unwholesome while surveillance is everywhere, and now there's no force that can keep me from idling beneath your arm.
Lovely.
It won't be clean, but tomorrow we'll breathe and remember the future, like we'll do the day after that.
Lovely. You motherfucker. That one kicked ass. That one fucking kicked ass. Fucking right.
And I'm going to close with a piece that begins with a question.
That was excellent.
And it's a question that you all already know the answer to. Because you are the answer. Maybe in a Allen Iverson kind of way.
Give it away.
Or a Carlo Campbell kind of way. Or a Heather Raquel Phillips kind of way, who collaborated with me to make this broadside I have available. So yeah, you already know the answer, so I'll just give you the question.
We're definitely right.
Why Philly? Why Philly? Because lightning struck a tree in Germantown and Sun Ra knew what to do. Because AM over OR are more. Because ancestors at the parades. Because Zoe Strauss. Because Barclay Hendricks. Because row house windows are shrines. Because SEPTA's getting there. Because you all love Questlove and you know that he's one of us. Because it's one of the original 13, but the colonizing isn't yet over. Because Giovanni's Room. Because Philly Barbacoa. Because Ben Franklin may have loved it here more than he hearted being naked in France. Because neighborhood crosswords. Because Dirty Franks. Because Gritty scares away Richard Spencer. Because Saquon Barkley. Thank you, New York. Because dope poet laureates. Because Octavius Cotto's got his own spotlight on Broad. Because the spirits of Sigma Sound and Little Pete Steiner will haunt new luxury houses. Because LO over VE love. Because you're welcome to stay, as long as you come correct. Because even vegan cheesesteaks are good.
No, they're not.
Because Ars Nova Workshop. Because Philadanko.
What?
Because Ramona Africa couldn't be killed and rides the 13 trolley. Because AI. Because the Bowie Bar. Because you might try but cannot hate, except for one person here, on the epic Cy Twombly Room. Because Schoolie D. Because Ernie Perron. Because McFadden and Whitehead said we can't be stopped.
Yeah, no.
Because we got Duchamp and we got cornbread. Because the Frank Rizzo mural forever remained interactive. Because the Ellen Paltiberino compound. Because Mark Anthony Richardson. How deep do you want to go? Because there's no such thing as vision without memory. Because a bell got cracked, so this is what you get.
Oh.